Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Epic intro stinger. What's up, everybody? Andrew Wall here, host and executive producer at Illuvium. And we've got another episode of Illuvium Showcase with the Lieutenant of Leaks, Von Leakman. This man's crazy. He's obsessed with rocks. We've got 77 leaks for this episode. This is going to be unbelievable, including 12 videos at the end of the episode if you want to stick around for those. But let's bring him in. It's crazy o'clock over there in Australia. So let's see how this man's holding up right now. We're talking about co-founder of Illuvium, Grant Warwick in the house. What's up, buddy?
Dude, I think I lost the title over the last 3 weeks. No leaks.
Where are the leaks? Explain yourself.
This is the longest we've ever gone without leaks. Even I'm stinging for them.
I know, we all are. Well, Grant had to go out to take care of himself for a little bit, which is fine. And I was also traveling to Australia. We've actually got some leaks related to that. So let's make up for lost time, amigo. We've got a lot of awesome stuff to show everybody. And I'm so glad to be doing the episode with you again. 77 freaking leaks. Merch.
Is that a lot or is that average for us at this point?
It's actually average for us, but, you know, I'm hyping it.
He's just got to hype it anyway.
It's been 77 sounds good, right?
Well, I think what's happened is because we didn't do it for 2 weeks, there's a lot of stuff spread out throughout the Discord that I was like, if I just like keep sending you more and more stuff, we're never going to be able to cover it in the hour anyway. So we'll just have to do it in the leaks channel after the chat.
Makes sense. And we shared a little bit of them on social media. Really quick, everything we're showing you here is not financial advice. This is just cool video game stuff, cool creative art, showing off what the team is creating here at Illuvium DAO, an Illuvium Game Studio. Got it? Let's get straight into the leaks, my friend. Starting with merchandise and events. Why don't we just make our merchandise guy upset, Grant? You want to leak stuff? Boom, here's some merchandise. What are we looking at here with designs, bro?
Well, Roger's been working on those with the concept art guys because obviously now that we've got Brian on the team, who's head of merchandising, we need to get rolling on that. And I just think I don't know, I'm trying not to think too much about it until it's in my hand, you know? I'm just being patient because right now these aren't like guaranteed pieces of merchandise. They're just concepting out. But very shortly we'll start doing that.
Very cool. I mean, these are cool concepts. Obviously, you want what you're saying in your hand. You mean having printed samples, essentially.
Yeah, like I want to see it. Like I want to wear it.
Yeah,
I want to wear it. Like until then, but I think it's super cool. We've got so many. Sorry, the camera's just.
It's okay. It's all right, man.
Yeah. Cool.
And people are shaking right now with no links for a while. Linky.
Yeah.
He's shaking for leaks, man, like it's a drug or something. Look, we got you, okay? We got you guys. How many plants and rocks this week? Infinity plants and rocks. So I wanted to show you guys with these designs. This is a cool embroidered concept, embroidered ILV. Look at the purple stitching on the hat here. I really like that purple cap inlay.
Details.
That was kind of hot, right? And the obelisk on the side, that's a hot detail. Obviously here having, you know, an Atlas on the side of the hat, cute. Nice little style point there. Atlas is so clearly the cutest character too. There were kids and adults and people all from all over an Australian crypto conference. And when they saw Atlas, they literally wanted to take pictures with their phone, Grant. They're like, I want to take a picture of that.
Really?
It was the wallpaper.
Really?
It was a splash pit wallpaper. Yeah, for the beta. They wanted to take pictures of it. And some of these women that were like 60, 65 that were at the conference were like texting it to their grandkids. It was really, really interesting.
How was it, by the way? Because as you know, I wasn't there, but the community was kind of asking, like, why wouldn't I go to the convention? And the honest answer is the Florida convention I went to, it just wasn't my vibe. I just wasn't feeling good talking about crypto, you know? Like, it seems like game-related things in crypto are such a small area of it that I can't stomach the mainstream crypto stuff. So, but I was super excited to see how well it was received, but I obviously wasn't there, and I've only spoken to Dimitri about how it was. So
yeah, well, let me show you some of the pictures. Yeah, let me show you some of the pictures and kind of walk you through it. And for everybody out there who didn't get to go to the conference, check it. It was way different than Permissionless. Let me tell you that. Permissionless was a DeFi conference that you know was about try hard folks that are trying to like make a startup and trying to solve various financial problems around the
Gotcha.
world. This Australian crypto conference was more focused on exchanges, on video games, and kind of like more entrepreneurial type of ventures that are in Australia that are trying to build something that people are really going to experience. Not necessarily like totally financialized products. There were a few of those there, but not as many. So it was a different vibe. And this was our booth right here, which is really cool. This is the team
Wow.
photo. And so this is most of the team that was at the event here. And behind this, we had 5 demo stations playing Private Beta 2. The people that were at
Apparently
the event,
people got addicted.
yes, they did get addicted. And it was really, really cool. And then we were giving away that NFT we leaked on a previous episode. And then Kieran did a keynote speech in the keynote
Saw it.
area, which was pretty cool. And then
Saw it.
I did interviews with a bunch of influencers, people on the floor, what have you, while I was there, and I did a panel talk. So it was cool to have good talks and to kind of talk about the industry and to do that whole thought leadership-y type of thing at the conference, which was cool. And then the demos, though. So this was the most fun part,
Wow.
like watching
Wow.
watching
No
people play
way.
the product. This kid right here, by the way, and I don't know if he's going to watch this episode. This kid camped that computer for hours. Look at
No.
his eyes. He was just playing the game for hours and hours. And I'm like, I told everybody at the booth, don't kick that kid
You-
off. Like he's
Future
having like a
world
Pokemon
champion.
moment right now. So it was really
Wow.
cool.
His
and then
parents just leave the convention.
Yep. That's pretty much it, man. It was cool. It was really cool to watch people experience
Wow.
the demo. And the overall feedback was, wow, I can't believe I didn't know about this project from some people. Other people and I recorded a bunch of their reactions and interviews. Other people told us that, it was a significant improvement over Private Beta 1. And the overwhelming feedback, and we had showed this on a previous episode of Illuvium Showcase, the overwhelming feedback was that the new Ramfire animation, that new Omega ability, was just mind-bending. Like everybody mentioned, that was the coolest ability they had ever seen. And so everybody that played the demo and that happened, they go like some people like literally went wow, like physically reacted to it. So that was really, really cool. It was awesome to see that.
I cannot wait to. I'll do it in this episode because basically, as you know, we've got PB2 like imminent. We've got, I think, I don't know, 24 hours to art lock it, and then like nothing can go in. It's just that the back end team does their thing to get the PB2 out. I originally made the mistake of thinking the overworld was going with that, but it works out just the same anyway, or actually better for the community, because I thought the date that was given for the overworld was arena as well, bottled in. So I thought we had extra. I thought we originally had extra time for arena, and it was just a misconception. And so what we're doing is getting the arena out, the updated arena out earlier than I anticipated, and the overworld will come after that, because you didn't show the overworld in the convention yet.
We had a build of the overworld we could have showed at the convention, but we decided not to show that.
Yeah, it's not.
It's almost there. It's not quite, it's one of those things. Yeah.
I'm doing 2 weeks. Over the next 2 weeks, I'll be streaming basically every day with Dimitri. People may have missed it yesterday. Dimitri and I were doing multi-user editing in Unreal Engine at the office. So both of us streaming the same level, set dressing it and building it out at the same time. It was a little bit buggy, but our goal, Dimitri and I right now, get Overworld as well polished as physically possible, and a large part of it looks fucking amazing. We've got the new movement system in there that isn't final, but just so many things making this game feel different. I want to stream something soon that I've been playing with, that Gezu has been working on. It's like what I wanted from this project from day one. I haven't been very vocal about the game design, like the fundamental game design, but one thing I wanted was the environment to feel alive. And so I can stream now. We've got it. New movement system, interactive physics for the plants. I've only got a few in this demo scene, but Gezu's going to be implementing this across our entire range of plants. It just, without having...
Do you want me to show the plants on the screen?
Yeah, I mean, I may as well run around and
You
show
might as well.
people
We
because
might as well.
I there was an interview I did with Vulcan where I was like, I don't know if the overworld is going to be too boring, right? And it was a big fear of mine. I've said it multiple times. Like, I don't know how people are going to perceive it, but it's so weird, right? Like adding little things like this. So if I just let me just play because I'm in the. It's just a demo scene with some of the interactive assets that Gezu's been working on, and then I'll like scale a couple of them up, and I've actually got the controller hooked up as well. So give me a second. It's
No
first time
problem.
loading.
So everybody knows what we're looking at here when I full screen it. This is just a live feed through Discord of Grant Screen in development build of Illuvium. And so he's showing you a preview of some of the things he's working on, just to give some context.
So now, as I said from the very start, all the plants would have there's some bugs with sound. You're not getting the sound, are you?
I'm not getting the sound, no.
Okay,
But
let
that
me
it's I don't have it
mute the
hooked up
gear.
for you to give me the sound. Sorry.
Okay, cool. No, I there's a couple of bugs with the sound, but basically, like all of the plants now interact with the bullets. Not
Ooh,
all of
cool.
the plants, right? So firing at them is cool, right? But like jumping on them is so much cooler.
Ooh, bouncy leaves.
Got to work. We've got to now that we've implemented this, we've got to work on the way the camera interacts up close, specifically around plants, because it can be a little bit frustrating. But basically, the plants now are interactive, and like you see her leg, like you can walk on the plants now. It's just
Yeah, the reactions are pretty nice. They feel kind of gummy. The amount they move based on your jump height appears to adjust and everything. Really, the movement looks pretty natural already.
it is just crazy, man. Like you go down a little bit more, fall off. All of them do it. It makes just. I wanted it in this. I wanted it in this episode, but I wanted Ezu to swap just these assets out in Sancta Mesa so I could run around and show people how it is in the game. But just when all of the plant assets will jiggle and move and you can step on them like this, I've never seen a game that's had this. And I was like, from the very start, I want to feel like I'm back in Crisis because that was my favorite PC game ever because it got me into photorealistic graphics. Like that game, like I built a computer around it, and just being able to run through the palms and have them move and stuff. There was something crazy about it, and the fact that we're going to have that in the game is just so cool. You know, like I can't explain how excited I am for stuff like this because people were like saying, "Oh, I could just run around the overworld for hours." You know, it looks so beautiful, but without stuff like this, I don't think I could. You know, I don't think I could just run around and explore and see the levels because they just feel too static. So having
Yeah,
this
you wouldn't
stuff,
really be experiencing them. It'd be more like an on the rails kind of theme park ride. If you can't
yeah,
jump on stuff, if it doesn't react to you, it doesn't feel as real.
it doesn't feel real. Whereas now, even though the game's stylized and everything, like Gezu's done so much work because we have so many plants. It's like with alluvials, you've got different kind of categories. You've got like bipedal alluvials. You've got the squiz line where it's some of them are levitating. Each one of those categories requires different back end code and setup. And so when you have so many characters and so many plants, it's very hard to make like a one size fits all for them. So he's had to go through for the various plants in the game and make different physics setups and then hook those up just to make them work. And he believes that now he's done all of the base categories. And so to do the rest of the plants will be quicker because he's implemented the bone structures and things like that. Like a default, there's like default setups that he can go to now and then adapt them depending on what plant is where. But seeing the plants now, you've got like VFX on them. Once sound goes in, you know, sound will go in at the end. I just think it's so cool. I can't even believe it. It feels next gen. Like I'm running around and even in this environment, I just can't wait for people to play it and see their reaction and when they realize like this is the detail we've gone to. Like we didn't. No game has to do this. Very few games. Like it's crazy to do this. Introduces only bugs. It doesn't assist the gameplay at all. But you know, when some of the levels are filled with plants and things like that, and you're like running over the leaves, it's just going to feel so cool.
That's really cool. A question came up 3 times with 3 different people asking, are the plants going to blow in the wind? They really want to know.
Yes, yeah, we've got the ability to. It depends how complex you're talking about, though. Some regions there is no wind. You know, like Sancta Mesa is very light
Mhm.
breeze, and we can animate. There's different ways to animate the plants. We will have default animations on all of the plants, and those default animations, if it's in a region like Crimson Waste where there's just naturally wind everywhere, those default animations will naturally be windier because we're
Mhm.
only using those plant assets in Crimson Waste. That's for all the big stuff like this type of plant here. So I'm just going to show an example. The physics system we've got, it doesn't scale infinitely, right? You can't just have any plant at any scale because the physics weights are set up differently. But I did some tests and I thought it was pretty cool because as if people have been following me set dressing and stuff, some of the plants are big and some of them are quite small, and we kind of need the ability to set dress like that without the physics breaking down. So let me just, one thing I haven't actually tried is kind of like
So it doesn't
duplicating.
let you scale the assets up past a certain size because
It
of the
does,
physics limitations.
yeah, it does. Like you can scale it, it just might behave a little bit weird. So we're
Got
currently
it.
trying to figure out where that breaking point is, and I was hoping to show that on this lesson, on this episode. Sorry.
This is a lesson in game development. This is a lesson on how
So
transparent you
cool.
should be as a game studio. Other
It's just
other
so
other game
cool.
studios would never show stuff like this. They would just wait to show you that trailer and say, "Buy it."
I mean, but this is I've been talking about this for 18 months now. Since the very start I wanted this. And just something so subtle as this, just it just totally changes the entire way you feel about the game. All the it what it does is all of the other little bugs and problems with the movement system and things like that, they become secondary now instead of like the glaring in your
Mhm.
face problem because you've just got this like what just it's just crazy. Like it doesn't feel I can't believe it feels so perfect. It feels stylized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
even
know
even
what you
the
mean.
physics system, it's like in real life you wouldn't be able to stand on that leaf, but just the fact that
Right, and so you don't have to be entirely reliant on a super creative, let's say, a set of animations for running and jumping
yeah,
and jetpacking.
yeah,
By getting on these leaves, and you showed in previous one the lily pads and various other ways to traverse, it makes just walking around and jumping on the environment its own sort of traversal mechanic. Like being on plants is almost its own
yeah,
traversal mechanic.
absolutely. You can't just
Hmm.
run. You can't just run, and there's regions like we've got heaps of plants, and you see the new movement system that's been implemented now,
Oh, it's so
way
much
less
better.
static.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like if she stops, turns around, she like stops, starts, so much more fluid. There's so much weight to it. Like I'm using a keyboard and mouse now, but when you play the game with a controller, it's just like I don't
Yeah,
know
she
about
actually stops
anyone.
and adjusts her weighting, and
Yeah,
like the weight goes against her knees. And yeah, it's massively
jumps are
improved
still
versus the
wrong.
stiff animations we
Mm,
showed before. Yeah.
jumps are wrong. Still some things to improve. I'm not showcasing the movement system right now. I'm just showcasing the plant systems, but it just changes everything. Like it feels next gen now. I don't know about if people have played Monster Hunter, but Aaron seems to want to turn Illuvium into a kind of Monster Hunter. And
I'm
so I
okay with
was
that.
like, let's play Monster Hunter. And the movements in that game was just fucking terrible. Like absolute shithouse. I played it for about 5 minutes, bought the game, ran around for 5 minutes, and I was like, really? It's just so jerky and not fluid. And everything about the movement system in the game now is becoming fluid from being able to just like, ah, it's just crazy. It's just, I can't believe we're doing this sometimes, man. Like to say it and then to see, like, I didn't think it would be this good.
That's
Maybe
awesome. So
people
this
think I'm
this is
crazy.
definitely hashtag not dog shit to you right now. Like the direction it's
No,
going.
no, it's like, it's just what Crisis could have been if they kept going down this route of like an interactive environment. Remember, all the plants are going to do this. And we're going to have the combat system implemented in some plants where you might be jumping on plants to get away from another plant attacking you. They're not alluvials. It's a stepping stone to get to alluvials in the overworld. But the fact that you have to escape a plant attacking you or something like that, potentially go, like, if there's loot on the tops of certain plants and you have to get away from another plant attacking you, you're going to have to like plan where to jump so as not to fall potentially into acid
Yeah.
underneath. It's like
And
it's something
you'll have
that
to
just makes
estimate
you,
which plant leaves are strong enough to hold you
yeah,
too and won't drop you all the way
exactly.
down. Yeah.
Exactly, where you can stand on them. This is
Hmm.
temporary. We'll probably do a polishing pass, and like once we get user feedback. But to me, even in the overworld's unfinished state, it's really starting to kick off. Like you saw Kieran go a bit schizo because no one in the studio has been able to play the full loop of the game. There's so many individual components to make that happen. If one thing's missing, like transitions into the or out of the out of the auto battles, it doesn't matter how far progressed the auto battle is or the overworld is, until you link them up, you can't run through that loop in one
Right.
clean swoop. Right now, all the user interfaces in like the current version are not implemented properly. But the fact that in the overworld you can just run through, capture characters, come out, go back to the hub, see your stuff in your inventory, it's scaring the shit out of me because you see the finish line, not just the light at the end of the tunnel, but you kind of see the finish line now. Like, here's what we have to do to polish up everything that remains from what we said we'd put out. And it's viable in my head. It's not a white light that's forever feeling close. It's like, wow, once the overworld is playable and once the players have the ability to keep stuff in their inventory, we're very close to having the full loop. It's
Yeah.
just updates at that point, but
It's one of
nothing
those
missing.
aha moments. Once you actually play Illuvium Zero, and then you take that
Yeah.
fuel into the overworld, and then with that fuel, you experience the overworld and you catch the alluvial. Then you take that alluvial and you take it into the arena. You don't know what that's really like until you experience it. And that's why, like you said, Kieran went schizo. He finally saw it. It's knowledge of experience, not just knowledge of
Yeah.
concept. Yeah. That makes sense.
Just
Dude, we have so many more leaks to go through.
yeah.
Can
Sorry.
we do
All
some
right.
more? No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
You don't
Absolutely.
need to apologize
Absolutely.
for showing your screen. We all love it. Let's show some
I
more
mean,
leaks, though.
it's just crazy, bro. Like, I can't. It's crazy to me. Like,
I'm glad that you're still so mind blown by it. That means that
wow.
we're still continuing to push the envelope and surprise ourselves with the quality. And I know you would be disappointed if you didn't go super high quality. Now, here we have some images you shared with me from YGG Japan, Tokyo Blockchain Game Night. Didn't we win an award or something?
Yeah, we came first place, I think.
Yeah, Kieran couldn't physically be
Yeah.
there. It's like, and the winner of everything is the guy that's not here. But we won. So that's pretty cool to share that off.
I mean,
To show
there's
that
going to be
off.
a lot more of those. A lot more of those awards.
Well, hopefully we can show up to ones in the future, but obviously it's not easy for to fly all over the world from Australia to Japan and what have you. I'm jet lagged right now myself from the trip. We've got characters to show everyone, Grant. Who are we looking at? Who's this cutie right here? My son, by the way, I was putting together a presentation. He looked at this one. He's like, Daddy, I want that one. He forgot all about Atlas.
The Pangolin, Stage 1.
Mm-hmm.
Flair, I believe is his name.
Very cool.
The Illuvatar artwork.
Right.
So polished. This is the base Illuvatar artwork.
And it's kind of standardized, so everybody knows you can put accessories on top of it, and it's going to be compatible with those accessories. And we've got a number of other Illuvatars to show you here. Who are we looking at?
The Flish. The Earth Flish.
Do you see the eyeball? That's some really nice detail on the eyeball. Looks so good. And also, the drippy tongue adds some realism here, and I really, really like that. That's a good feature.
People have seen it in game. I've shared videos. Like, we've gone to that level of detail in the game. It's mind-blowing, man.
People are asking for the T-Rex roar right now. Look, last episode, I did the T-Rex roar. Are you going to give us a T-Rex roar today? Or are you too tired? Look at the pain on his face. He's like, please do not ask me to do a T-Rex roar.
TSG, bro. That interview's off the table. So,
all right, we're not going to ask him to do it today. He was going to fall asleep for
I
an hour.
I might do it.
He might.
I might do it.
I had to bring it
But
up.
You're not getting that interview now, bro. It's over.
So many comments about T-Rex roar, and this is a variation. Look at that pink eyeball. Looks amazing. Looks so good. Just the tree on the top of the head and everything, or the plant structure on the roots on the top of the head. Just absolutely beautiful artwork.
I'm reading the chat, man. It's my 30th birthday. It would be a great Prezi.
What? It'd be a great
It's just
Prezi.
straight manipulation.
Yeah, they'll manipulate you into doing a T-Rex roar. Audience, keep going. He's reading. I'll pull up chat on the screen right now.
I don't know how to do it.
There we go. Here's the fire variation. Very cool looking.
Never read the chat. Never read the chat.
Never look directly into the chat.
Never look directly into the chat.
Yeah, I just pull up choice comments on the screen. So if you look directly at it, it can burn your eyes. Oopsie. There was one more of these. Flish. Very cool. But now we're looking at a different Illuvial here. Who are we looking at here?
The Volante.
What is, I'm sorry, one more time?
The Air Volante.
Air Volante.
He's the little lizard guy.
Mm-hmm.
Tier 0 for the upcoming beta.
Got it.
It's actually crazy.
Looks really
how
cool.
Close we are to the. Do people know how close we are to this arena beta coming out?
I mean, it's like literally at the finish line. I'm recording gameplay today.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I'm recording gameplay today. Our digital marketing manager is like, "Look, give me some gameplay right now because we need to post that. Like, this thing's going live ASAP." So I'm in a rush right after the stream to get gameplay out. So it's like right at the finish line. Whoa, everything okay?
Yeah, everything's all good.
Okay, so here's a variation. Wow, look at this. Beautiful. This one's going to look interesting with some accessories on it. The head placement is definitely different here than the other Illuvatars, so there's going to be like lots of extra room up top, but I guess you'd have to leave room for the fin or whatever you want to call it on the top of the head.
He's my least favorite tier 0. There's something about him that makes me not like him as much as the others, but I feel like there'll be we did say this from the very start, like not every single character is meant to hit you deep in the feels.
He looks kind of devious. He looks like he could be a bad guy.
There's something weird about him. There's something very Roger about this character.
Yeah.
Like this is 100% a Roger character, and he just makes stuff weird. I'm not complaining about it, but sometimes Roger does stuff, and he just does it differently just for the sake of it. Like, it doesn't really look like a lizard. It doesn't really
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What is this, by the way? I had this on the slide earlier.
Yeah, this is the Sloth Stage 3 or Sloth Stage 2 with the Komodo Dragon Stage 1.
Wow.
The Komodo Stage 1 is definitely my top 5.
Do you see these ILV fanny pack? Merchandise team, get on it.
Yeah, people were waiting for it.
Looks really good, actually. I kind of want that. I want that fanny pack. I'd travel with that. That's really cool. And you, in previous episodes, were talking about eyeballs and how we're focusing on making those eyes more realistic. This is an eyeball, right?
It is. People don't realize that there is lore nestled into the game right now. How could you? You know, we haven't shared any of it, but there's a reason why certain things are integrated into the levels, and people are just going to have to wait and find out why these things are there.
Okay, done. We weren't going to reveal anything because Aaron would kill us. Even more Illuvatars. Seriously, there's so many.
So good.
This one's cute. This one hits in the feels.
Dan, just amazing, amazing rendering artists.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
I spent like, when I was younger, like 6 months to a year in Photoshop every day trying to learn how to draw and render, and ended up just saying, screw this. I'm just going back to V-Ray. It's too hard. But it's crazy to have them on our team.
What are we looking at here? This is like I think this is the Balthazar NFT promotion.
Snaily stage 2. Yeah, Snaily.
Look at Snaily.
And
look how
to say it.
Intellectual Snaily is. Look at these pie charts. Look at these line graphs. Look at these numbers, man.
One of my friends, it's like an inside joke where they're trying to, because our characters don't say their name and we're trying to be Pokemon. He's like, wouldn't it be hilarious if all the stage 1 characters tried to sound like more powerful characters? You know, like the stage 3. So like Snaily stage 1 would be like Snaily Fire. It wants to be Ramfire. Snaily.
I like that. No, I like that. That would add a lot of personality. That's actually that's a really fun concept.
The Grocko air.
Grocko was turning heads in PB2 at the event. People really like Grocko. They're like, what is that weird one that's like in the shape of a ball? It's like, it's Grocko. So they love the Grocko. So much personality.
I don't think the Volante is iconic, but 4 out of 5 tier 0 characters being iconic, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. This guy doesn't look like anything else I've seen.
No. And you think you've got Chin? You think you've got Chin? You thought Thanos had Chin?
Yeah.
Grocko's got Chin, baby. Thanos has no chin in comparison to this. Look at all that beautiful chin down here. Wow.
TNT.
Look at that,
though.
TNT. Look at all these amazing variations. So much variety. Flowers in the hair. Weird looking green eyes. Look at those teeth.
God.
Somebody call a dentist. Okay.
Are we chugging through?
We're just chugging through here, man. So this is all character stuff. We've got back of head detail here. So this looks like almost like a deep dive jack-in port on the back of the head here to me. I don't want to say too much about the lore, but it looks like there's lots of different options here, huh?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out, so people don't realize we're working on a trailer at the moment, which is going to introduce a bit of the lore in the game. It's going to introduce you to some of the hero characters in the game and the roles they play in the game. And we're currently in the process of building that trailer out with Glow Studios. They're an outsourced studio who are helping us with building it all out using the assets that we've created for the game. And we're just currently trying to detail things and figure out how these characters look, because they're going to have to be utilized for a long time. So we're just trying to see what works with the lore, and it's really cool stuff.
I like this Obelisky one here, option L. That one looks really kind of interesting.
Everyone likes a different one.
Yeah, of course they do. They're all so different.
Yeah.
Really cool. Thank you for sharing that one. This is cool. Like, I remember in a previous episode, you were showing us how in Sanctum Mesa, you can change the colors of everything in Sanctum Mesa. Is this one of those experimental runs here, or no?
No, this is a screenshot from 3ds Max showcasing where the Leviathan ship is at. So people saw me on stream a month ago doing long hours on this thing. Basically going through change after change after change, trying to find that perfect shape and form that like screams Illuvium, but it's simple and minimalist. And a lot of that process was building up blueprints for Cantomir to go in and do things in a polished way. So I'm really, really good at doing hard surface modeling, but not super clean work. I can do stuff really quickly, and then to polish it, to take it from that ideated state to like a polished state, takes a large amount of time that I don't have at the moment. And so Cantomir has taken that blueprint that I've built and just started going ham on it. This ship is 450 meters long in the game. Lord. It's enormous. And the detail that he's adding to this, the cleanliness, to keep something this big clean, so because you're going to be able to run on it in the game. You want all the paneling to be perfect. Cantemir is just a freak with high res detailing. He's done work for Boeing. Like, he can build planes. So
And so he's going to build our plane.
He's just loving it. Yeah, he's just loving it.
That's
because
cool.
It's just the type of stuff that artists want to be able to do. But where can you, there's always other planes to be built and stuff like that, or cars to be rendered. But sci-fi stuff, it's kind of once in a blue moon for some modelers to be able to do this level of work. So he's absolutely loving it. I can't wait to show it. It'll be showcased in the trailer. I want to keep wraps on kind of what the trailer is and what it's about, but that will be introducing you in a little bit more detail. So that first shot we saw in the previous trailer where it's re-entering and coming crashing down, as people have seen in my streams, that crash lands on Sancta Mesa and everything in the story unfolds from that point. So had to make sure that the spaceship was iconic, because we're going to be utilizing this for years to come in multiple different projects and backstories and lore in the game.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, let's not say too much more about what that's going to be like in the trailer. Here we have some kind of work in progress characters here. And this one,
yeah,
what are we showing here? Is this sculpting?
No, it's just showcasing the low poly topology on the Penguin Stage 3 character. I just want to share some stuff like this so that people understand that when we have a perfectionist mindset, it's going back and forth between incorrect topology that's not lining up to the high res mesh and just really refined and perfect, so that all the details are seamless and transition to the low poly perfectly. And little subtle things like that. We've got so many characters in the game. They've all gone through this process. Other studios would just say, whatever. It doesn't matter if the normal map is slightly off. But, Jaco who is texturing this character. God, I want to share. Maybe you can get up. I don't know. Can I send you something to bring up?
You can either pull it up on your screen or you can do whatever you want. If you pull it up on your screen, I can just share your screen if you'd like.
I'll send it to you because
sure.
I don't know if I can share just a single.
Yeah, we can do that. No problem. Send it over to me.
Because
he's got something else. This guy, he thought 77 leaks was not enough. He wants to give you more.
Well, this was just released just today. It's just like
okay. Got it.
People have been waiting to see the Penguin Stage 1 in a detailed state.
Sure. Send it over. We'll pull it up on screen. Audience, do you guys want to see some additional leaks? Nefarious is saying, give these guys a thumbs up. Yeah, give Grant a thumbs up. I think it's literally the worst time of day for him to be here. So,
yeah, 4 a.m. You're asking me to do T-Rex roars. Fucking hate you guys.
We value our community and we hate you as well. Perfect. Send it over, bro, and we'll pull that one up.
I'm trying. There we go. Okay, I've sent it to you.
Cool.
Now, I guess we can get that.
Oh, ooh, yeah, I see why you want to show that. Here, let me download it, and then let me put that in our little presentation. Give me a minute there, audience. And I will pull this one up on the screen so you guys can see what Grant wanted to show. No problem. All right, let's pull it up here. Doing some live production. All right. Reset that image, make it full screen for you guys, and we'll pull up this little guy. Perfect.
One of the last characters to be textured in the game. The Penguin line.
All right, well, let's go ahead and show. Here it is. This is what Grant wanted to show everybody.
Just an update on the Penguin Stage 1. Another iconic character. Slapping.
Nice. Yeah, I love those kind of like antler thingies coming off of the beak there. Those look so cool.
The
coral antlers, yeah.
Will be seen in the Halcyon Sea.
Oh, so cool.
And Tiger Boreal.
I just love the fantastical combinations of these characters of different animals, different concepts, all smashed together in one unexpected hybrid.
That's the low poly, right? being absolutely perfect to get all of that stylized, clean detail perfectly translated. You notice how most games, the low poly meshes look low poly. You can see the polygons. You can see where there's hard edges on angled surfaces. Whereas in our game, even on the lowest res settings, the normal maps and texture maps translate perfectly because we've gone through this excruciatingly painful process of low polying everything manually and then manually cleaning it based on the bakes. So it's like 180 characters or whatever, and then every character has this like 20-step pipeline where each step might need to be redone. And every time you say, okay, we're going to redo it to improve it, that's potentially redoing that 150 times. But this is the end result of that, where it's just so clean. You know, it will stand the test of time. As soon as stuff looks low poly, looks low res, at some point it's going to not look good anymore. But I don't think that'll be the case with Illuvium.
Agreed. Slappin versus Atlas, who wins? Grant, what do you think?
My gut is gonna say Slappin is gonna win, but I don't know. We haven't seen him in the game yet. I have a feeling like Atlas is such an iconic character. He can't be super powered. You know, he's got to be that guy that you throw in for personal reasons or to assist in the comp. He can't be like, not every character can be a hero that just destroys everyone.
That's fair. Yeah, a tank character isn't necessarily going to wreck people one-on-one. Atlas is not a brawler. Slappin would slap Atlas across Taiga Boreal all the way to Crimson Shores. Wow. That's some slapping power. Perfect. Let's go ahead and look into some skins. One of my favorite parts of all of our Illuvium showcases. And take a look at this never-before-seen beautiful skin. Tell them what they've won, Grant.
So the Fern skins, these are being created by Fabian at the moment. And some of these are work in progress. You know, we're not 100% happy with all of these yet, but we're going to get them to a blocked out stage. Remember, every single character in the game has a corresponding skin, and you're going to have to grind really hard. And that was another thing that I like very soon when we start showcasing in that last lead up to releasing PB2 in the overworld, people are going to start to see how that unfolds, because there's a lot of thought into like what's it like running around the overworld, but really it was always two games. You know, you've got the overworld experience where you're running around, but then each encounter you go into is like its own mini puzzle, and to get enough characters captured to make a skin is a lot of work. So you can't just say I'm going to get every single skin in the game. You've got to, it's too much work, you know, like it's too much, you'll spend too much money on stuff. You've got to figure out which ones you like. And that's why we need to make them look really good and look polished so that you feel like it's something worth getting. It's not just something that you want to, you know, do it for 6 months and then you've got every single character in the game. That doesn't feel special to me.
So, no, if you don't have to grind for it, if you don't have to work hard for anything in life, it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
So I just showed stage 1, stage 2, and now I just skipped. I went to stage 3 as fast as I could. Look at the stage freaking 3 here, baby. God, this thing looks sick.
No VFX, remember? All the stage 3 ones have VFX on the skin as well. So you'll be running around with flames coming off of you.
Dude, it's so dark. The colors are so cool. Oh my God, I want this one. I want this one bad. I would grind hard for this one. Then look down here, like this is kind of giving you an idea of the flames.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. The passive VFX. So much work to do that, to make a skin for every character or every stage 3 character with all of the VFX attached. Like, so much work. But to have a collectible NFT game, you can't just collect a bunch of Adobe Illustrator Furbies.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Oh man, this looks so good. That was one of my favorites. All right, now we're moving on to Mozart skins. Yet another one. I couldn't figure out which alluvial this was.
Ramfire.
Oh, it's Ramfire. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Stage 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. There you go. That's easy. Stage 1 Ramfire, Stage 2 Ramfire, Stage 3 Ramfire, Mozart scans.
And that's
Audience,
the other
do you
thing.
want these?
Some people are going to like the stage 1 better. And you also have to remember, you're in the overworld. When you're playing the game, you're ranking up your characters.
Mm-hmm.
You might have a stage 3 that's a really low level, that's not as important to you as a really high ranked stage 1. Remember, in the overworld, you're playing with your ranked characters. It's not normalized. So you having better characters means that to win the auto battles is easier. But here's the genius part of where Ben introducing dimensional stability comes in. Because even if you've got the best team in the world, you've gone and bought those characters. So you're telling yourself, I'm never going to lose an overworld encounter. If you go in and try and beat a really, really simple encounter with really high-powered characters where it's super obvious you're just going to annihilate them, you start that battle with like only one chance potentially to capture a character, or 0% chance to capture the character because the dimensional stability is too low. So the difficulty curve in the overworld is user generated. You have to figure out how much effort and how many characters you need to put down to beat each individual encounter. So there might not be like in survival 8v8 where it's this like each wave is like you're sitting there for 4 or 5 minutes trying to figure out how to absolutely master it. You might only have 3 to 4 characters on the board, but you're sitting there questioning, okay, what's the bare minimum I can use to beat this encounter and get the character by giving myself the best chance by having the most dimensional stability. So I was playing it with my mate Damo, who entered the first big tournament, the first big Illuvium tournament, which he won, the one with Frobe in it. And he was like, he's disconnected, right? He doesn't really give a shit. He just kind of jumped in. He was good at it. And he doesn't keep that close of an eye. But when I showed him the overworld experience, he'd never seen it. And every time I've asked him before, I was like, what's your thoughts on the overworld and shit like that? He's like, I don't really care. And then he was like, 2 minutes or like 10 seconds into seeing it, he goes, is this how the overworld is? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, you know how it is? He goes, I didn't know it was like this. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, are you telling me like each encounter we have to figure out how to beat it the most efficient way possible? I was like, yes, I've been telling you that for like fucking 2 months, you idiot. And he's like, that's sick. Like, that changes everything. Like, then it gives you purpose. Even if you're a really, really good player, now I'm not going to go try and beat the game by dropping Ramfires on the board. I'm going to try and beat the game by dropping my little stage 1 Atlas on the board.
It's all about efficiency, and it's going to be about, and that's what's going to make it interesting too in the overworld. So I think a lot of people are assuming that Arena is going to be the all-star for like content creators and live streams and what have you. But in the overworld, if you have to make those strategic decisions, like you're saying, to use the least amount of resources, if you will, to get the maximum amount of yield. And then if you F it up and you don't get what you could have gotten there, then it's high stakes. That's the kind of stuff you need to make for an exciting live stream. Otherwise, it'll just be people just jumping around our cool looking world and kind of casually collecting everything. And you kind of wish there was an auto collect button almost in that case. But that's not the way our game is designed. You have to make strategic decisions in the overworld, not just jump around.
It also adds another factor for botting, because you have to make the bot capable of understanding not just how to run around the overworld, but also how to efficiently beat the auto battle experience. And that's really, really hard to do without having the back-end data to plug into that AI system. It's going to be very difficult. I don't know how much it just adds that level of complexity. It's not, make a bot that runs.
I don't want to kill your flow, but that's why this is Pokemon for adults. It's not just the characters looking more mature. The systems, the strategy, there was just a comment here, is so much deeper that a kid is not going to be able to jump in here and do this. Like this comment that came up right here. Dimensional stability is such a cool addition. Everyone thinking it's going to be water beats fire like Pokemon,
Hmm.
but it's so much more than that on a
It
strategic
is.
level. So
It
adults,
is.
you're going to have to use your freaking brain to play this game. It's not just
But
more mature in terms of the intellectual property.
But on top of that, it is like Pokemon for the stage zeros. If you're coming
Mm.
in free to play and someone's saying, hey, check out this game, it's the next Pokemon, you don't want to jump into that game and be greeted by composite synergies and affinities and augments and all of this crazy shit that like a high-end TFT player would be excited about, because the majority of our players just want to have a fun experience capturing characters and beating these less complex game modes, right? And they will decide how difficult it is. You know, they will figure out, okay, I'm new to the game and I've lost 3 auto battles in a row because I tried to use too little on the board. Well, I'm just going to go the opposite way now and start beating the battles and give less of a crap about capturing the character, and then start pulling back from that. You go, okay, now I might not need to put Ramfire on the board. I can put
Mm-hmm.
2 Atlases instead and learn the game in a simple way using the tier zeros, which have no composite synergies. It's just water, fire, you know. So I think it's super exciting.
I think it is as
I'm
well.
getting
And
hyped
this
again.
leads us, me too, me too. When you start to put all these factors together with this kind of brilliant game design, it starts to blow your mind a little bit when you put it all together. But once again, you can have intellectual knowledge, you can have academic knowledge of what it's going to be like, but until you have knowledge of experience, you don't really understand. And to kind of
Yeah.
illustrate the concept you're talking about, there was this one leak that you wanted to share today. And I assume, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the screen that pops up after you've done an entire overworld
Yes.
run? Okay.
Yes.
So this is
Yeah.
the first time we're showing this to anyone. So after
Yeah.
you've gone through all that strategic gameplay you just described,
Mhm.
you efficiently went around the map, you harvested, you captured as many alluvials as you could, you tried to do it in the most efficient time possible,
Mhm.
etc. This is the screen that's going to come up and tell you
Yeah.
basically all the loot that you earned, correct?
While you're in the overworld as well, this will be a
Mhm.
tab that you can see what you've collected. You know what I mean? These are
Mm.
placeholders. This is from Florian.
Right.
I don't even think this is implemented properly in the game yet. Into user interface is something that should get plugged in last into the game. People watching me on CC streaming today saw that I was running around the hub, and now we've got these interfaces set up for the fusion, for the forge, and for your locker. And it's just total mock-up placeholder UI. But the
Mhm.
fact is, like, these systems are being plugged into the game. You know, we do it in a very rough way first, while Florian designs this out in a super polished way. Once Florian is happy with it, they'd build a mock-up in the game. Those guys are super busy. There's so much UI stuff to implement on the auto battler, getting ready for Arena PB2, that now they're freed up to do the overworld stuff. This is how it's going to look. You know, it's just so polished.
What is the score for? Have we talked about what the score is for, or is that just a placeholder right now?
I haven't been up to date enough to tell you that. It's honestly the first time I'm seeing a score be tallied.
Me too. I'm going to ask internally to get an answer for you guys. Me too. I also have not heard
Haven't
about a
seen that.
score, but a score makes sense if it's all about efficiency and all
Yeah.
about, let's say I'm just guessing, the alluvials you collect, the minables you get, the harvestables you get are all worth a certain amount of points. I'm assuming the time in which you collected it and how far you traveled probably also is a modifier. And then you can come in and get some total score here. This reminds me of Anthem. Anthem had systems like this, and other looters out there have systems like this, right? Where you clear the level. If you do it fast, if you combo, if you do XYZ, then you get modifiers, and it just gamifies the idea of clearing an entire level to a whole nother level. I'm assuming that's what it is. We'll get more details for you. But thank you for sharing this leak. This is cool to see for the first time what that screen is going to look like. Eye-popping as always. Now, here is some gorgeous art. Some of the coolest and most striking art I've seen. What is this from? Do we even want to say?
I won't say anything.
Just look at the art is what we'll say.
Yeah, I won't say anything.
Okay, say nothing. This is art. Behold
Just
it.
start. Just start.
Let me zoom in here so everybody can see. There's your boy Mozart. There's Arlen. There's, we're not even going to say, art. Enjoy art. We do that when things touch on lore, right, guys? So we're just going to say
Yes.
art.
Just
Beautiful. But beautiful art. Oh, so good looking.
Amazing.
Love it. All right, and is this in Sanctum Mesa, or is this inside the ship? No, this is in the ship.
This is inside the ship. This is the hangar area.
Ah,
Yeah.
very cool. So people were asking earlier, can you go inside the ship?
Yeah, absolutely you can. That's where the Leviathan arena is.
And there you go. There's your answer.
There
and
will
there you are
be-
inside the ship. For scale, look how big this freaking ship is, man.
No, this is just the hangar.
Oh, this is just the
small
hangar.
area. Yeah, this is a small area of the ship.
This is the
tiny.
This is the extra bedroom.
Yeah.
Inside the ship.
Yeah,
here.
no, the arena is behind this and to the back of the ship.
Oh, wow. Okay. And guys, yes, our plan is to drop all of the Grant. Are you going to be able to do it, or do you need me to? Well, I guess you'll have to do it to ping everyone, but we are going to be dropping all the leaks on Discord, the full resolution files. So be patient with us. Thank you.
Maybe not tonight, but because it's so late, some days my sleep rotates, some days I'm awake at 9 p.m. at night, but today I was awake since 7, 8 a.m. So going on 21 hours now.
21 hours, not healthy. So you should go to sleep after this one. So here's some more beautiful art. Indigo Crypt and Halcyon Sea. I tell you what, man, almost every piece of art I see coming out of Halcyon Sea is just jaw-dropping, dude.
So Alexis is like a look dev concept artist. So Alexis is not there to make things super detailed. Like when you zoom in, you won't see anything being super exact, but it's the aura of the level that he gives us to use in the look dev process.
I don't know about you guys, audience. Let me know what you think. I'm feeling it, even though there's not a great level of detail here. And I guess
things
that's what
like the plant physics. We have water physics as well. There are plants that are gushing water down these tunnels, and when we implement the slide mechanic, when that water comes gushing down, it will take you with it. Like there's so many cool little physics things that we are focusing on that are going to make the game's environment feel real, and it's stylized, so it doesn't need to be like a perfect water sim with all the foam and everything working photorealistically. It just needs to give you that kind of Mario feel.
Guys, are we still, I think this is an apt comment, are we still just a mini game in another metaverse? Salty comment. I thought that was funny, though. Well done.
Yeah.
All right. Next art.
It's not salty
Taiga
at all.
Boreal.
You should be genuinely concerned when people say shit like that. An overpaint of Taiga Boreal. I think I gave you like a before and after.
You did. There's I've got a bunch of Taiga Boreal stuff here. So let me show some more.
Maybe it'll be the next slide.
Oh no, this is Leviathan Eye. So there's a sequence of them here, right? So this is like in development, or rather some style frames essentially, or is this for a sequence, or are we saying what it is?
No. It's just in each level. The players are going to realize that when they go into the game, there is lore, right? There's crazy shit happening on this planet that you're trying to figure out, and certain elements of each level play into that. And I'm happy to share the art in this stuff, but
you're not going to say what it is. Yeah.
Just not going to say what it is, or why you're interacting with it, or what the Leviathan Eye is. But it's cool. It's cool. I'm glad I'm not sharing any of this stuff, because all the art, you can't piece together what the game feels like until you run it, until you see it.
Yep.
It's so cool.
And so this is just another representation of that Leviathan Eye.
Like, people know they're a Leviathan in the game, but like, what role do they play? What's their purpose?
Do you guys not see how beautifully stylized this is? I mean, seriously, somebody's asking, like, when are you announcing the disc plate announcement? I want to print all of these on my wall. I hear you guys. I hear you. Look at this one. My goodness. I think this might be my favorite leak from this episode.
So cool.
Oh, looks so cool. Look at this, man.
The
Good
scale.
God. Yeah, the scale is
We're
great.
building this stuff out. It's coming.
it's this tense moment. It feels like a Sauron eye looking at you type of moment, and it's intense. It's just really, really cool. So far out, so fantasy. It's so good. All right, let's take a look at some environments. From the man who's obsessed with effing rocks, we've got some rocks here for you. And then we've got 12 videos you guys have never seen before. Actually, one of them was leaked on Twitter. But 12 videos right after this. But we got to look at this man's rocks and plants, man. This guy, I mean, he just loves jumping on plants. He loves talking about rocks. Let's take a look. I'm done poking at you. All right. So here's some props to use around. So props like this, where would these be? Would this be primarily for Sancta Mesa or all over the place, or where would these be used?
I'm thinking firstly primarily on Sancta Mesa, but we'll go from there. Not all of these are going to be built. This is a Lexus attempting to match the Illuvium style because we've done things very efficiently with the hard surface stuff. So a lot of the hard stuff, I mean, all the hard surface stuff has basically been created by Cantemir and I, outside of a couple of the suits and small things like that. But I wanted just a few things that we could detail Sancta Mesa with to make it feel more like a colony has crash landed there. You know, like some things strewn around, some things will be like ETH canisters that you don't functionally have to use to power things in the hubs and things like that, but are there. There are things, there are pieces, storage, stuff like that the colony is using for various things. And if you don't have these types of details, it doesn't feel alive. So
no, yeah, you're just looking at giant buildings and naturescapes, if you will. And if you don't have tools and storage and things like that, you're right, it is missing something. 100%.
I'm fingers crossed. Abel Fazil, one of our VFX artists, recommended a friend of his who does hard surface modeling, and I'll be giving some of these assets to him as a test to come onto the project. So beautiful. Fingers crossed that goes really well. People were saying there's like no Illuvium 0 leaks as well. Well,
are you? Oh, did you just taunt a Warwick? See, here's how you get something from the Warwicks. You say you can't do it, where you say you haven't done it, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to show you." It's the secret. Oh, hold on, whoa, leaks.
So I can go in. I gotta find it. This is a little bit.
What are you on there? Android or iOS, dude?
Yeah, I'm on Android. It's on my phone.
Well, hold on. So Illuvium 0 isn't just like a screenshot. It's a real game. Yeah.
So it's like we're here. Like it's coming. Like there's like a couple of UI things and some of the world art. It's like an alpha. And swap out the regions here. I think that's gonna screw everything up though. There's Crimson Waste.
Yeah, so people ask when. Like, we don't like to overpromise and underdeliver here at Illuvium. As you can see, he's got a working game here, right? We could show it to you now, but it's not quite at the finish line. Right, Grant? We've got finishing touches.
I mean, I was playing it, okay? Like, I was going through the tutorial. I was playing it. Like, there was a couple of things that I was like, okay, they haven't hooked that up. Some of the artwork takes a little while to hook up. Dimitri and Connor have cut through 6 out of the 7 regions now. There's literally 1 region to go. And then art is done for IZ. It's so much better. Like, people can't really see. I just changed something with like all the UIs and everything like that. Like, it's here, dudes. Like,
this would be a very difficult fake for you to do.
Well,
obviously it's real.
Quit. But yeah, like you go through, you create, I don't know, like select a plot. You know, you can erase it. But where's the Gaudi doing his thing? So I've gone past the tutorial, so I need to like, one sec, clear. Reset game state and force save. See if
And
this does
obviously,
it.
everyone, we're going to do a full gameplay preview and
Yeah,
capture
of
and showing
course.
everybody. But Grant saw somebody say no Illuvium Zero leaks. Well, here it is. Just look at it. He's showing you it's a real product. All right, right. This is the tutorial sequence where Mozart
Yeah.
pops up and teaches you how to build and use
Yeah, yeah,
resources
yeah.
and all of that. Yeah. Yeah, I experienced that one in the desktop version of the internal demo. Yeah.
But this is not the updated artwork in the tutorial. That's what I mean. There's certain things. So,
Right. We want to have the
but
polish before
yeah, for anyone,
landowners get their hands on it.
yeah, for anyone who was frustrated by the wait updating the graphics, there's when I installed that, loaded it up, and was just playing it, I was like, thank God we didn't release what we were going to release 6 months ago, because it
The
just
art
looked
is
it just
drastically
was
improved.
so
Oh
shit.
man. Yes.
People would have been like, what is this? It would have given our whole image a shitty name. People are like, what? People get confused. Like, is this the AAA game? Like, now the graphics look insane. There's 8K renders. You can zoom in. All the buildings have that AAA polish and detail. It's like,
that's why you did 8K renders, is so you could be swiping on
you
these
can zoom in
environments.
to the building.
Right.
Yeah, you like they're actually only 4K in the game. It's 8K for promo stuff, because there's the web app as well. So I wanted the ability, if you're using the web app on a computer or something like that, to be able to use like an experimental setting. It detects that you're on PC or Mac and updates the resolution, so you can take screenshots. If you've got a 4K monitor, you want to be able to zoom in 2 times and it still be crystal clear.
Yeah, of course.
I can't explain. Like, when we delay stuff to improve the quality, you've just got to trust it. You have to, because if we release what we had to release before, like, I guarantee you, I know the market's dog shit right now and everyone's kind of hating on crypto, but people, I don't think, are hating on us. We haven't failed people yet in terms of quality. So
I agree. Look at the greatest game studios in history during their eras and their heydays. Blizzard Entertainment literally created the phrase of Blizzard trademark soon. And during their heyday of like the aughts or so, whenever they went for StarCraft 2, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo 3, all in a row, and Warcraft 3, in that little 10-year window where they released just banger after banger after banger. It's because they made sure the product was polished and it was launched properly. And then when they stopped doing that, that's when they fell out of favor with their gamers. They fell out of favor with investors, and then they eventually had to get acquired because they were a distressed asset. So the point being, you can look at every example in history of studios that have sacrificed on quality and have pushed things out too quickly. Look at CD Projekt Red, having created The Witcher 3, maybe one of the best video games ever made, and then rushing Cyberpunk, only to have to fix it years later. And so the point is, we are learning from the lessons of history of game studios and of movie studios and of creatives in the past, where if you make the product right the first time, you can't unlaunch a game and you can't redo that first impression. And so we are going to do the right thing for our community and for all of you.
Yeah, like one of Zeptal made a comment. It'd be better if people would stop judging if it's a AAA title based on graphics. Basically, that's the gist of the comment. But Illuvium Zero was never a AAA game, right? It still isn't a AAA game, but its purpose isn't to be a AAA game. But visually, like the fidelity, it has to look AAA. Otherwise, it doesn't sit in with the ecosystem.
It's off-brand. I mean, the Illuvium brand is eye-popping, high-fidelity fantasy universe. That's the brand. Like, even look at the video asset package I'm using here, and then we're using here. Everything has to be clean. It needs to be futuristic and modern. And modern means high fidelity. That is modern, right?
So it's not a AAA game, right? I'm not sitting there playing Illuvium Zero and trying to hype people, saying, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe how crazy these buildings are and shit." It's still there. It's a functional tool to create the circular loop in our universe. that's what its purpose is. But in terms of graphics, which I'm responsible for, it's a mobile game. It was possible to update those and make it feel future proofed, and having it there, having it on my phone, and not looking at it and go, holy! Like, I would happily, if we fixed up those, got the updated artwork in, fixed up a couple of the UI things to get updated, I'd be cool. Like, people go love it.
Yep.
Play the game. I'm not sitting there freaking out going, people are going to think we're scamming people because we're releasing something we developed in 3 weeks. I'm actually proud of it. It looks amazing. Like, I could take screenshots from it, and the graphics are good enough on it where it makes me want to build the towns out symmetrically, and people are going to like it. People are going to like it.
I'm glad we did this, and let's get into the leaks. But I'm glad we did this so that Illuvium Zero isn't that afterthought of, look at our overworld, look at Arena.
And
then we also have this, like, then we also have our shitty mobile game, I guess. Like, so many game studios out there have their AAA console game and PC game and their Battle Royale, and they're like, and also we have a shitty mobile game.
Yeah.
we don't have a shitty mobile game. And I'm glad that we don't have to offhandedly mention Illuvium Zero, and we can be proud of how it looks and how it plays, and how it's fundamentally designed from the gameplay level.
Yes.
To interact with the overworld.
It's not promising it to be the best thing ever, but it will fit into our universe cleanly and how it should have been. More plant.
I'm going to show some environment stuff, and you feel free to pipe in here. As ever, Grant sent us rocks.
These are crystals.
Oh, they're crystals. Okay.
Simple assets we got to create. We make larger assets from these smaller crystals. We're currently working on the shaders for this, and the shaders for the crystals in the game. And Emil is working on the block out for Crystal Shores. Right now, we are 3-4 weeks away from having every single level in Illuvium fully blocked out, and then transition to the high poly. Tiger Boreal is already going high poly. Brightland Steps is already high poly. Like, we've been crunching away. It's so cool to see that in the back end. All of the levels set up now. We've got maps for the battle boards, maps for the overworld, maps for Sancta Mesa, all the hard surface stuff I've been working on with Cantemir going into those. Like, we are chunking away, and at certain moments you just sit there and you play the game and you start to see it all those holes close and merge, and you just start freaking out going, like, we are actually going to do this.
It's all coming together.
We're late.
Yep.
We are late, but better late than never.
Agreed. Okay, these are rocks.
Those are rocks from Lorette.
Thank God.
More procedural rocks.
It's not a showcase unless we have some rocks.
No. The idea is that you can, like, twist the base and the top separate from each other, which gives you far more variations.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, this is so cool.
Started to master how to get the most out of the least assets.
Mm-hmm. Geyser vents here in Taiga Boreal.
Yes. Yeah, because now when we transition to the high res, those geyser vents that launch you up into the air, another one of those cool physics systems that we've got in the game, have to be, we got to create assets for those, and that will just be like one singular asset that gets put in, nice, clean. That's what we'll work on next.
So what he's referring to, if you didn't see the previous episode, your human, your ranger, can jump on top of the geyser and then be shot up from the geyser as a traversal mechanic within this level, Taiga Boreal. So this is going to be really fun to traverse in that way. So earlier you got to see Grant jumping around on plants and the leaves having different physics and the branches having different physics. Here, you can jump on the geyser and it'll shoot you up. So each level is going to have its own unique traversal mechanics, which is going to increase variety and make the gameplay more fun, of course. I think we have another geyser to show. Yep. There's some smaller vents, just a vent plate. Very cool. I'm excited to use these. These are going to be very fun.
Very fun, man. You got
Okay.
to bring in that interactability with the environments. That's what the game is meant to feel like. Like you're interacting with, it's alive. It's doing shit when you do things.
Agreed. And there's a number of plant assets here and tree assets and art to take a look through as well. This one from Abyssal Basin.
Mm-hmm.
What does this mean by, what do you mean by hero plant? Does that mean it's just like
Look
a
at
featured plant, you mean?
So look at the detail in that plant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then look how big that section is compared to the entire tree.
I see.
On the right. You see that's only the tip top of the tree. So it's massive.
I see.
And it's designed to, you traverse up it.
So it's kind of inspired by a bonsai tree.
Yeah.
That's cool. Rainbow Tree is the name of it, guys. Rainbow Tree is going to be gigantic and amazing. This is giving me right now a bit of a Pandora from Avatar vibes with the massive scope of the tree and the details, the vines hanging down, where the tree is almost defying gravity in some ways. I love it. Very cool.
I guess at this stage, the trees and the rocks are getting a little bit uninteresting. But hey, now we've got, like, I'm going to do a run through of the updated lighting on Abyssal Basin. I think next week we'll get Mark on the stream again, do an update on the overworlds and stuff like that right before we lock off the overworld artwork. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff always going on. We're just starting to get down into the nitty-gritty details of polishing assets and things that we look at a level being blocked out and go, okay, it's missing certain things. Like Halcyon Sea, we realize, like when you look at coral, it's very easy to make a simplistic coral system out of few things, but you don't get that diversity that you would get. Like when you go to the Great Barrier Reef, even though there might be thousands of a couple of types of coral, it's all the random one-off things and weird, obscure stuff that gives it that vibrancy and variation. And so still a few assets to create for Halcyon Sea to bring that out.
Fish gills. Very cool. So all of this environment stuff is not boring if we, from time to time, show people the environments in progress and actually looking at them. Like, remember all that stuff we were showing you, all those corals? Boom, here they are. And they'll be like, oh, now I can connect the dots.
Yeah.
Yep.
So many variations. The detail in this is pure artwork, like the amount of work that goes into creating an asset and texturing an asset like this is quite extensive. It's not as easy as you might think. And to get that level of detail is, people will hopefully appreciate that when the final game is out.
Oh, they will. If you can appreciate it in this phase and just see the kind of artistry, then once you're experiencing it within the world, it's going to be insane. Like, think of like the most incredible environments that you've ever been in video games, are the ones that have the best art. I'm thinking ones like Legend of Zelda games, even though they're highly stylized and they're not highly detailed, the environment sticks with you. You remember the way those trees look. You remember the way the grass blows. Like, you remember that stuff because it's so creative and so masterfully crafted. And so I hope that, like you're saying, I hope that players have that sort of lasting impression of even the mundane details being so expertly executed that it leaves an impression on you. So that even rocks and trees and plants, you're like, I remember the way those looked. And that's from Illuvium. I think we're going to accomplish that. What are these?
Just more interactive plants in Halcyon Sea. You'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, these look will kill you. I'll say it.
Yeah. I think from memory, like if you jump in those, it'll swallow you. And
it looks like it's about to swallow you. Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like a Sarlacc pit, sort of.
Yeah. A Sarlacc pit, yeah.
And more of those beautiful flower assets.
Grass blades and things like that. Look at the detail, even on such small assets.
But that's the variety you're talking about.
Yeah. Sorry?
That's the variety you're talking about, though. If you have all the variety of
Yeah.
assets that can populate in a particular
Yeah.
region, it makes it feel real because you're not just repeating the same
Mhm.
low poly asset everywhere, and
These are
it makes
tiny.
it feel it makes it feel real.
Yeah, these are the size of a blade of grass, but if that doesn't show people like this is the level we're at now in the process of making the game, it's the detail stuff. You can see like I'll be live streaming tomorrow more of the Sancta Mesa, and this is the type of stuff I'll start adding in.
Oh,
I've
you
already
guys have got to
started
be
doing
there.
it.
This is going to be. Are you going to be streaming on Twitch? I talked to Dimitri about it. You guys going to do a Twitch thing?
If
Or-
you want me to stream on Twitch, I'm more than happy to do it because I can sit down now. The fracture isn't so bad. You know, the first
Okay.
couple of weeks I couldn't, but now, like a Panadol, I'm good. I don't feel any pain. So
Okay.
grind.
I would
back.
like you to. I would like you to stream on Twitch if you're open to it. I mean, folks that are on Discord get a lot of exclusive streams there, but Twitch would help us spread the message. All right, Grant. I know you need to go to bed soon, so we've got some videos to show. Can we play these videos? Maybe give a little
Yes.
context, and we're gonna call it, guys. We're already
Cool.
an hour and 20 into this freaking stream. I told Grant we had to keep it an hour, and here I am letting it go an hour and 20. Von Leekman. All right, so I'm going to play videos. Be prepared. Some of these might play audio directly into your brain, so get ready. First video. Are you terrorized? So what were we looking at there, Grant?
The Terror Bird Stage 1.
Mhm.
We're just seeing some of the sound work being implemented into these aren't rendered in game or anything, but yeah, you can see the updated VFX for him. We went through many ideations of his VFX in the game.
Here's a taunt. Check out the taunt. If that's not freaking cute, I don't know what is, man. Come on. Audience, give it up. That's good stuff right there. I like that one. That taunt's cool. I love the audio. The boink, boink, boink. That's just overly cartoonish. It's great. It's great. All right, we've got some captures here within Unreal Engine of, I believe, some animation. So let's take a look at this one.
Every single plant.
They can't hear you, by the way, when I'm playing the video. Sorry. It just plays
right.
just the video to feature it. Sorry about that. What was the
No problem.
context on that? I'm not going to play the whole clip because it's a lot of looking at that.
Just
plant
updated
asset.
VFX. Yeah, each of the plants in the game has the majority of the plants in the game have VFX that are associated with them, and we want the physics. So, like when you shoot it, the leaves bend over, and the VFX reacts, and it feels alive. There's that chain of events that occurs when you interact with plants in the environment.
Got it. All right, we have more Terror Bird here, but this is within the actual gameplay here. So check this out.
So cool.
Those are not the freakiest sound effects you've ever heard, too. It's so different. And that's, I mean, seriously, I love it. Like the team working on visuals has done a good job, like you've mentioned, of giving you a little bit of the unexpected. But then when the sound team delivers on the unexpected as well, it comes together to be something that you cannot forget. I've never heard a sound effect that sounds like that before. It's so cool. Oh, the animation's cool too. It's kind of the freaky green thing going across there. Beautiful.
His beak comes out.
Oh, it's his beak coming out. We're going to play it again. This is so freaky. I want to play it one more time. Here we go.
I wanted.
I see. So with his beak going gosh, all the way across.
I wanted it to be like Lord of the Rings, you know, in the Fellowship, where the dragon comes and flies in and just breaks up over the kids or whatever.
That's cool. That's really, really awesome. Once again, I'm always getting surprised by the variety of assets we created. All right, I've got some elks. Stage 1.
So these videos I think you're showing are from Jesse. In PB2, you're not going to see finalized NFT artwork for all the characters, because the first one had 35 characters. This one has an extra 70 characters. It's a lot of work to get all the NFT artwork in, and Dimitri and I have just been so busy on other stuff. So you'll see placeholder artwork, but in the background, while all the other stuff's happening, we're working on the NFT artwork, the final animated NFT artwork. And what I'm sharing here is just Jesse doing the VFX for the offline V-Ray NFT artworks. So once PB2 is out and Overworld is out, we move 100% of our focus, Dimitri and I, onto rendering out the NFT artworks for the remaining characters, and then we'll update that so people aren't looking at placeholder artwork. They've got the finals.
Got it. Okay, that was stage 1 elk, stage 2 elk. That was it. I'm going to do it one more time. It's very short. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then, some of these are short, right? They're just like quick little leaks, right? And then here's stage 3. This is the one we shared on Twitter.
So cool.
Woo! That one's good. I'm going to play it one more time. That one's really good.
So many layers. These are going to be cool.
All the little all the little particles coming off of the antlers on the top and everything. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I can't wait to get all the NFT artwork done. Like, it's been a dream of mine to see that full set, that base set rendered NFTs. Then whoever stole my Pokemon cards when I was 13 years old will be gone. The ghost of my past will be dead and exorcised.
I know. You told that story on a previous stream. Yeah. Look, if that's what you have to do to get rid of those demons from your past, of your Pokemon cards being gone, then do it. I didn't share this last time because I didn't want to steal your thunder in the last stream, but I had a similar situation with my Magic cards. My Magic card collection went away. My parents took it away permanently and never gave it back to me, my most prized possession. And I've since then have been forever chasing, having video games or my interests being my passion. And so this is why that's why I'm in this field right now. And I'm not in finance or something. Yeah. I can be a pretty straight-laced guy and straightforward guy, but because those Magic cards got taken away, for the rest of my life, I will always be trying to get my Magic cards back. It's kind of messed up what happens in your childhood, huh? And how it impacts the rest of your life. Anyway, enough about our psychological issues. Check out this Graco Earth version. Oof, those little purple particles off the arms, huh?
The particles break apart and then form new particles like Doctor Strange shit.
That is awesome. I love it. And the fire version also has a sort of similar effect with the arm. A lot of the action's happening with the arms of the VFX. Check out the fire one, everybody. One more time on the fire. Even his toenails are on fire. Amazing. So beautiful.
We've done the work to everything. This is why it takes time, but...
And here is the Iluvatar's bonding animation. So this one, I want to give a shout out to somebody on my team, Andy Kang, who produces all of our explainer videos. He's my partner in crime, doing those with me. And he made this bonding animation in collaboration with the art team, of course. But he actually did the animation itself. Check it out. This is an Andy Kang special. Come on. The bonding animation, baby. Let's do it one more time.
I don't know where you found that guy, but he's pretty good, bro. He's pretty good.
Dude, he and we ran into each other like 14 years ago at Broadband TV, and we've just been in love with each other ever since. I'm like, you make the videos, I'll plan them. Let's go, baby. Yeah, it looks so beautiful. It sounds so good too. I love the build up, the rewarding sound at the end. You need that rewarding sound at the end because, as you all know, when you're bringing your accessories and bonding them with your base portrait for your Iluvatar, you are going to be burning NFTs. And so we want to have that be a rewarding moment, not a womp, womp, wow, you just lost NFTs moment. It's a moment of triumph where you made a big decision, you collected a lot of things, and you're creating something new. Everything about that animation feels triumphant and fun to me. I love that animation. So good. And I love the sounds. Everything about it is just killer. I love it. Grant, we just leaked so many things. I think your brain's about to leak out because it's a zillion o'clock, hour and a half long leakage. Everybody give Grant Warwick a round of applause. The lieutenant of leaking, everybody. Thank you so much, Grant.
Oh, God. That T-Rex roar, eh?
We'll get the T-Rex roar on a future stream, everybody. Cut this man a break. I mean, seriously. He just gave us everything he got. He's about to go to bed. This man's about to pass out. Grant, thanks for joining me, buddy. I really, really appreciate it. We're going to get these leaks out on Discord. We're going to be posting them on socials more. We all hear you. Grant had to be out for a little bit. So did I. But the show is back. Thank you so much, Grant. And for everybody who has not already, go to illuvium.io/Iluvatars. We've actually got some new information there about Iluvatars. Our album and collection feature is there. You can also build an Iluvatar right now to see what that's like. And that bonding animation you just saw, once you put together all your accessories and your base portrait, it'll bond together in a custom Iluvatar that is just exactly what you want it to be. And I'll see you in the next episode of Illuvium Showcase, where there will be leaks upon leaks upon leaks. This is the part where I play the non-existent outro music and we say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Is it still going?
It is still going. It's still going.
Oh, fuck. I did it. I did it.
He did it at the end, everybody. He did it. I'm going to make sure the stream goes long enough so they hear it. Oh, that's good. He did it. Shit. It was kind of Chewy-esque.
Oh, well, sorry for being 2:30 a.m. I can update it.
All right, we're going to go for a real, everybody. Bye.